YouTubers. Um, Gonna call this one like Political Civil War 2.2. This is an intermediate one just because something fell into place here just before I got to get to it, but it's an instructional kind of thing that we need to really take a good look at. So the last time I said that there'll be events from the left or the right, uh, it wasn't what I was talking about. We're talking about events that are going to happen for to push World War III, and it's the left that's pushing World War III, but they're going to still keep on going to push Civil War. But I don't think that's going to happen. The Civil War is going to come first, and then World War III. So the political agenda for everybody else in the world to start pushing World War III, because if they can keep keep your eyes off the agenda that's going with the Civil War or the political war right now, so they can get a candidate in there so they can push World War III. So actually what's happening is that if it was an election tomorrow and the left get in, then the next thing you know, we'll have World War III, because they need to collapse. They need to start a war before they can collapse the bank or reset the bank. That's exactly what they do every time they need to figure out how to reset this banking system. The banking system is the biggest problem with America right now, and it needs to collapse. And Trump is pushing the agenda of a financial collapse by the bank being responsible for its own actions. Not him, not you or me, but the bank, because they can't keep printing money. I just went to the store today, and I just seen something that was just a couple of weeks ago was $20, was now 25, and another something else that went up to actually $100 in one fall swoop. And it was like, really? It's like, how can you keep up with that when every time I turn around, I'm saving up for the money? The money's gone before I can even get it. The money's worthless. It's 10 cents on a dollar if you're lucky. But now they want to keep on printing it. So now they turned around and said there's $100 trillion, $1.5 trillion of $100 bills in the banks all over the country. That's how they got to keep this thing going through their overnight repos and their reverse repos. All this stuff they're coming up. It's just ridiculous in what they're doing. But now they're not even going to do the repos. They've got the money. They're just going to keep on printing it. Man. But now the rest of the world is starving for money because the United States pulled out of the petrol market, the petrol dollar market, petrol oil market, whatever you want to call it. So they pulled out of that and they started producing what was the national reserves. So now the reserves are going to go down. That's what's causing that to be artificially held down until they can take care of all this other stuff and start doing trades. That way it's more even for the United States again. You won't be getting $100 barrels or $30 barrels now, is where they're pulling out of Iraq and Iran and Afghanistan and Saudi Arabia and all that other stuff. And Saudi Arabia's they're going bankrupt. They're not getting all the money from all the oil that they've been producing, because the United States doesn't want that stuff anymore. It's like, we don't need your oil. We got oil over here. They don't like that idea. None of them do. And besides that, it's like Iran. They don't have any money either. I mean, they got oil. They're trying to get oil, but there's an embargo against them. Everybody's holding back to keep them. They're having a black market what they got, but they're being pinned down by by the Gulf, by government sanctions against them. Man, I tell you, it's really complicated how it really works, and a lot of people don't understand it because they don't watch it all the time. Oh man, Pikes Peak's looking really nice today. But anyway, so this last event that just happened over, Iran, where they killed his General Solomon, he's being pushed by the left, the deep state party. They're pushing him, and it's like he ain't going to get any money until he starts pushing his way around and trying to start a war in Afghanistan or Iraq is what he was trying to do, get everybody to come back up and, join the party, but nobody wants to get involved in that. And if you look at it, they're not going to show you on the news what's actually happening in Iran, but they're throwing parties because they finally got rid of one of the biggest terrorists in their own country. Jeez, God, are you kidding me? I can't believe it, that this country doesn't understand what's going on in other parts of the world and who's pushing all these wars. It's not them, it's us. And we got to tear this stuff down and tear it apart and rebuild it up and restructure it from everything else. Never, ever re-elect. I'm telling you, it's going to be 100 years before you can start re-electing, to get this system out of everybody's head. Once they are in there long enough, they get to figure out how they can do what they're doing in order to line their pockets. You got to get rid of that system. It has to, if somebody knows how to rip you off, man, they're going to keep on doing it until you go to someone else. Just that simple. Okay. But anyway, go back to the Civil War, just part 2. The candidates are now starting to speak up now. Now, Tulsi Gabbard of Hawaii, a Democrat, noticing that she's coming up more and more often. Now, this is one of the females that are going to run for president, and a lot of people are not catching that. And she's been backed by a Satanistic party. And that's one thing you have to keep your eye on. Now, that's one of the candidates I'm telling you that's going to be in there. And there's 2 more other female candidates that we have to keep on. And if you start seeing their light shining, and you could already see one of them, she's already been voted the most like female in the world or something like that. I can't remember how that went, but that's another one. And then the one we call the HRC, we know who she is. All right, so there's 3, and they still have the one on the right. And there's another events that's still going to happen, but they're trying to push events to keep the political agenda right in front of your face, which is the impeachment. Impeachment's never going to happen. Never going to happen. The Senate says no, that means no. It's over with. But they're going to keep dragging it out until they can drag him down where he looks bad and somebody starts looking better. Biden's not going to make it. Him and his son are going to go to jail for all the things that they do, and D-class of all the indictments that they have right now, which is well over, in the state of Colorado, I know it's like 2,500 indictments that are coming down. And Colorado, please keep an eye on these people, because this is going to change the agenda for the state. As you can see, everybody's going to Second Amendment sanctuary cities. The sanctuary cities is not where you're living at right now. And Colorado should be a state, that should be a sanctuary city, because after all, it is a sanctuary city for illegal immigrants. Why is that? Oh, man. After all, there's so much stuff that's going down. Vote your conscience, but I'm telling you right now, your conscience is going to hurt. When this comes down the pipeline, all the indictments are going to be open. People are going to start going to jail. Gitmo's got a whole new remodel. They got Camp, what the heck was that? Camp C Gitmo, Camp C Gitmo. I'm going to get me a job there. That way I can see all the idiots, all the monkeys, and throw them some bananas. Throw them some bread and water. How do you like that? Maybe I can make some money working behind the scenes. I don't know. But anyway, this is, I'm going to have another one out here, another video. This one was just an intermediate just because of this, this general being assassinated by Trump, and that was cutting off the head of the snake. And that was more power to him, but that wasn't the only thing that happened behind the scenes. They blew up a weapons factory right next to a nuclear plant. Are you kidding me? These guys they're stupid. And then nobody's talking about it. They're not even talking about it. They want nobody to know about it, but we already know about it, and that's what's happening is that all our top echelon military organizations are going after these guys and pinning them down, pinning their ears back, and letting it fly. I love it, man. The movie's getting good. It's like the president says, man, grab your popcorn because watch out. This show's going to get good. Later, YouTubers, like, subscribe. I don't know what else to say, but keep checking out my videos.